Iraqi Dinar Guru Opinions February 26, 2025. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. February 26, 2025 Intel Guru Frank 26, Iraq Boots on the Ground Report, Firefly. Mr. Sami Said Sudani in his speech to the Iraqi citizens said very clearly, our national resources will rise in value. That's basically talking about the dinar. If it rises in value, it's because the exchange rate gave it that rise in value. And remember, they talked about returning to former rate of $3.22 back in the day, and that was based off just the oil revenue. Frank, they can come out at 1-to-1, but that would be rather cowardly. Why would you want to be 1-to-1 with the American dollar and be dragged down? This is a reinstatement of your currency. Put it back at $3.22 and let it float. When it gets to $4 something, cap it. This is a reinstatement. February 26, 2025 Intel Guru Mark Z, via PDK, article. The return of exports and the absence of revenues. The oil file with Kurdistan opens a new page. All of this is happening right now and is part of the HCL. February 26, 2025 Newshound, Intel Guru MNT GOAT. This process has to change and the dinar has to get off this sole de facto peg to the US dollar. This is the solution. That is the only way out of this mess in Iraq. They must go to a basket of currencies of developed countries as the IMF and the World Bank recommended for Iraq way back in 2011. In 2012-2013, the then director of the CBI, Dr. Shabibi, was going to revert to this basket of currencies, which would have allowed the dinar to be reinstated. Of course, his plan was first going to conduct the project to delete the zeros. February 26, 2025 Newshound Guru Samson article. U.S. Secretary of State calls Sudani to discuss bilateral agreements. Quote, Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani received a phone call on Tuesday evening from U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, February 25, 2025 Newshound Guru Claire article. After a difficult labor, the 2025 budget tables finally find their way to the Council of Ministers. Quote, the Ministry of Finance will finish preparing the tables and send them to the Council of Ministers for voting on them in the middle of next month, noting that the Council of Ministers will vote on the tables without delay and then send them to the House of Representatives for voting on them. February 25, 2025 Intel Guru Frank 26 We now have a new population census. They were using Article 140. But it wasn't complete, so you were not going to have equal distribution. It's not fair to come out with a new exchange rate. We now have a new population census. February 25, 2025 Intel Guru Mark Z, via PDK, article. Iraq reiterates OPEC pledge ahead of restart of Kurdistan oil exports. 400,000 barrels a day are headed back into the market soon. They are inspecting and taking the pipeline out of mothballs as we speak. February 25, 2025 Newshound Guru Militiaman article. There's no way out except through radical and immediate reform, starting with restoring the exchange rate to what it was. Quote, warns of a stifling financial crisis and for reducing the dollar price. Well, they can't do that unless, of course, they do what? Raise the value of the currency, dinar. They can't change the value of the dollar. The people of the region, in the world, is watching for a radical move. All the indicators are there. They've been talking about it for long enough. We can see the pressure has been up. February 25, 2025 Newshound Guru Samson article 1. Kurdistan government. Completing the population census in Iraq broke the psychological barrier. Article 2. Iraqi Minister of Planning. Census indicators ensure fair distribution of resources. February 25, 2025 Newshound Guru Claire article. Urgent in numbers. Ministry of Planning announces the final results of the population census. Quote, the population of Iraq has increased by 39 million and 618,000 people compared to the 1957 census, in which the population of Iraq was 6,500,000 people. February 25, 2025 Intel Guru Frank 26, Iraq Boots on the Ground Report, Firefly. They're saying they have an agreement with Baghdad to restart the flow of oil to Turkey through the pipelines this week. They are saying all the dispute has ended, Exports will resume in accordance with available quantities, ensuring a gradual return to the international markets. Frank. Realize what they're trying to tell you: your currency is going out of its borders. Your oil is leaving its borders. What is the oil attached to? Your dinar. Your budget is about to be pumped financially. This is getting serious. February 25, 2025 Newshound, Intel Guru FNULNU article. From Raffidain banks in line with directives from the Ministry of Finance and the Central Bank of Iraq. CBI, Al Raffidain Bank has announced the launch of the first issuance of national bonds worth 2 trillion Iraqi dinars, $1.5 billion. The issuance period runs from February 10 to March 10, 2025. This news comes directly from Raffidain Bank. I have had it for over a week but didn't think it particularly important. The bonds are for a fact being sold now and are being sold in dinar at the current rate. In other words, they are in circulation since February 10. They will go off sale on March 10. February 25, 2025 Intel Guru Mark Z, via PDK, article. Iraq announces new security agreement to Trump administration. Iraq is proposing a security agreement with the U.S. Working together as partners for security throughout the Middle East. This is big. It's exciting to see Iraq become a sovereign independent country. It now needs a new rate. February 25, 2025 Newshound Guru Claire article, Huge Wealth. What do you know about precious minerals in Iraq? Quote, Iraq is witnessing an important shift in its economic strategy. As the government is moving towards diversifying sources of income and strengthening non-oil sectors, with the project to localize precious metals among the most prominent projects on this path. February 25, 2025 Newshound Guru Militiaman. They haven't turned that Kurdistan oil on at 1310 because there's a whole new ballgame coming to Iraq. It's a digital world and Iraq's real effective value of their assets. That they don't have much debt, non-oil revenues, taxation, gas. It's going to be amazing. The development road project, all the industrial cities they're going to build along that path. The private sector is going to go crazy. February 25, 2025 Newshound Guru Tishwash. Finally forward movement on the budget schedules. Article. After a difficult labor, the 2025 budget tables finally find their way to the Council of Ministers. Quote, the Iraqi parliament recently approved an amendment to the general budget related to Article 12, which settles a dispute between the Kurdistan region and the federal government over receiving the region's oil. February 25, 2025 Intel Guru Frank 26. What is it we're looking for? Budget tables, but before the budget table can even be shown, what was it we needed? From Kurdistan? Oil flow, because it's going to open the tables in the budget. The oil is but one of many things that needs the new exchange rate. If you see that oil has been agreed upon, and you see it's flowing and you see it coming to Baghdad, do you know how close you are to seeing those budget tables? Very close. February 25, 2025 Newshound, Intel Guru MNT Goat. If you are a financer and/or economists and really study how things work in the real world, it can be seen that increasing the rate of Iraqi dinar will make it more valuable. And thus more companies outside of Iraq will want it. Better yet, if you reinstate the dinar on the global trading platforms. Thus, the amount of trade won't even matter and the dinar will be more acceptable. And it will decrease the demand for the dollar on its own. Don't forget also that when the dinar is reinstated, it will be repeg off the sole dollar peg and pegged to a weighted basket of currencies. The next step is the in-country RV with the project to delete the zeros. Who will want the dollar when the dinar is more valuable in Iraq? So, as investors, we muddle through these trying times. We wait to see what the new Trump administration will do to help or hinder this situation in Iraq. February 25, 2025 Intel Guru Mark Z, via PDK, article. Iraq is redrawing its economic map. Precious metals in the facade. The government moves to diversify its non-oil sectors. They are sitting on tremendous reserves and now they are developing them. There is much more in Iraq's income than just oil. They have many gold, silver, and phosphate and precious metals. They have far more resources now than what they did under Saddam Hussein when the Iraqi dinar was worth over $3. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.